using a tripod, so I'm going to see how this kind of goes, and if you move too much, and I will kind of use my hand if necessary. But this is the main door as you walk in. Like I say, because I'm full-time caring for someone, this is in a relative's house, so the walls and carpet are not of my choice. It is just how the room is, and obviously I'm not rude enough to decorate a room that is technically not mine, but they were happy to let me use it as an office and art room space just while I'm looking after them, as I still have arty things to do. But that is the main door that you come into, and then these are all photographs and some older artwork on here and here and here as just decorative pieces. You have, I've got like a little painting I did here. These are little prints of artwork that I've done. These are bar these two, they're two digital pieces that I did. That was a Vampirella inspired art piece, and then that was just when I was practicing and drawing hands. Little skeleton fish ID that I came up with, and like a kind of starry night kind of themed marine animals. I was kind of going for like constellation vibes. I did like a snake as well. And then this is my little fur baby that passed away a few years back. I miss her incredibly. She was a literal definition of Santa's little helper. She was a Christmas Eve baby born. She was absolutely adorable. There was a cobweb there. So there's some photos of her. Some of them are scuffed, but yeah, she was just an utter little baby. And she was called Lara. She was a rescue that my mum and dad got, but we called her Wawa because when my sister was really little, she couldn't pronounce Lara properly and it came out as Wawa. So Wawa was what it is. And then that is my little other fur baby that I lost a few years back when I was in college. He was called Sushi. He was the friendliest Syrian hamster you will have ever met. He was so friendly and placid. Grandparents' old dog Penny Pug, she was an absolute baby as well, and I loved her, and I did so much looking after for her as well. Another Sushi, another Wawa's, closest of the snoot. And then these I did in 2022. It was off a Studio Ghibli animation called Arrietty. Two little birds. That was kind of my, back in 2021, like my version of a bullfinch and like a collared dove. I was kind of going for like an ocean theme, but I used like a silver glitter. And then that is a goldfinch they're called, sorry. And then that was a plaque that got done for me by my cousin in woodwork and tech back in secondary school, and he did that. That will have been maybe 2011 is when you start secondary school, so he probably did that like year 9, year 10, so it'll have been around like the 2015 mark. And it's a Dead Man Wonderland anime inspired door like sign. I absolutely love it, and I've had it for years. I love it, so shout out to him for doing that for me. Dead Man Wonderland is such a cool anime. Thea drew a version of my skeleton fish that I did for me, and she did that this year, and I love it. Little wolf postcard. This is my postcard that I did for National Bat Monitoring Programme, which is alongside BCT, Bat Conservation Trust, and it was for the Sunset Survey. I am currently doing a calendar piece for them as well, and they get that on November. I can't wait to show you because I feel like my art has gotten better since the last time I did this. And then some little soot sprites off Spirited Away. They've been in multiple actual Studio Ghiblis. They've been in Spirited Away, when they're eating the little stars, and they were also in My Neighbor Totoro. If you have not seen any Studio Ghibli animations, I definitely recommend. I also do sorry if my breathing's really loud. Like I say, I've got a really bad chest, and I may not sound it voice wise, but chest wise, like my actual lungs hurt, so I feel like I have to breathe quite like deeply. So I do apologize if you hear any of that. I just am really under the weather. And then I did this acrylic painting on a canvas board. Once again, inspired that to look like the ocean from like a bird's eye view. A little moonscape, a little Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Since this one, redone Sally, and my newest Sally I would say is a little bit better. But yes, Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. I absolutely love Nightmare Before Christmas. But they're like little maple and oak leaves, and they're so cute. I have since gotten some little acorn or pumpkin lights. They're like kind of autumnal lights that I'm going to add with these. And then like a little star charm thing and a little moon. But this is like my little pull trolley. I've got my bin there and a Halloween pumpkin and a decorative pumpkin. They are squishy. Oh, they are soft and plush. Getting into this, sorry, I have my little tub of just all my highlighters. I've got like a lot of the pastels, a lot of the beiges, And then this is kind of just a mixture. I didn't mean to have this paintbrush in. I was dusting my keyboard. This kind of just has replacement, these that I haven't used yet, rulers, pencils, like my Pitt, I always say, yeah, sorry, Pitt Graphite Matte Faber-Castell. I've got my Faber-Castell Jumbo, got some biros to write with, rulers, more rulers, some kind of school style pencils, and I also have some of these like buff and stick things that you can use to blend when you're doing pencil drawings, rubber. And I've also got somewhere, I don't know where I also have one of these Mono Zero pen rubbers, so they're really skinny, they're perfect for doing drawings if you're doing like fine drawings. And then in this leaf effect glasswork container, or what would you call it, like vase kind of miniature candle holder, I've got all my paintbrushes in, which this one needs to go into that one. I've got a lot of like the different like sable brushes, some rounded, some square brushes, and then I've got travel brushes in there, some of the Cotman professional, some professional brushes, and then some more of like the graduate, some like more student grade paintbrushes in there as well. I just have, that's my keyboard for my iPad, and I've got journals. I have finished that book. That book needs to move. I just need to do last, I journal the books that I'm reading, and I just have a few last pointers to write in my other journal. And then that's my normal journal. I don't know if this video is going to make people get motion sickness, because I'm just looking down at this now and it's making me motion sickness. It's giving me motion sickness. So I'll have to, when I'm editing this, see if this is too movie about, because it might make people dizzy, so I do apologise. These little journal books I kind of use to write, and whenever I'm editing videos I just kind of write different ideas that I come up with. This one has all my voiceovers. I do pre-write my voiceovers just to make sure I don't ramble. I am terrible for filling gaps with like and like, and I try to cut that out as much as I can because it's just not needed. So if I actually have a script in front of me just to kind of follow and go off, I tend to ramble less and I actually stick to the points I'm trying to talk about. So that's that one. And then the bottom one I've just recently got from the range. It's lovely. It's got pumpkins and like autumnal leaves and acorns on. They're my little, each day I pick at random one of these cards, I shuffle them to write my to-do list on. And I also do the same for when it comes to this down here. Pencil case has a load of these like glitter pens in and multicolored pens in. I also select by random what pen to use for that day. It just kind of gives me a little bit more of a fun time making a to-do list, because I do like a good list, but at the same time when you're feeling like either down or you're just ill, nobody wants to do chores and stuff like that. So that pencil case has just got those in. And then that is just a complete sketchbook. If you would like a sketchbook tour of this one, I finished this May this year. I could show you everything that's been done in that. If you would like a sketchbook tour, let me know in the comments below. And then my laptop and laptop stand. Laptop is got a broken case on. It doesn't even have the bottom half anymore, and it's just covered in different anime stickers that I got throughout uni as gifts and stuff like that. So yeah, in this pencil case, sorry, I'm just gonna quickly show. They're like the kind of colour pencils that I was talking about. And I kind of pick them at random to do my to-do lists. You get the lovely bin and then my pumpkin. So I've got acrylics in here. I also have watercolours in those, and I believe oils and gouache in there. Once again, excuse the floor. So yeah, I've got some of the Senilia abstract colours in here. Got like greens, yellows, white, got brown, got some tube ones. Some of my Senilia acrylics, abstract acrylics is one of my favourites to use. They're just really pigmented and really good for price. Once again, if my audio's all over the place, I'm constantly just apologising, but I don't have a speaker. I just kind of talk into my phone. So here I've got some of, if I can get them to focus. So I've got some of the Winsor&Newton Cotman. I've got some of the professional, that's the cadmium free yellow, and then I've got some sap green, some Dale and Roni, they're oil low, some Dale and Roni watercolours, some of the Winsor&Newton designer gouache, they're all in here. I have all these colours in pans, and in pallets, like pallets I've made myself. So that's why I don't really get the tubes out ever. I just kind of use them to fill up. As you can see, I'm running out of that one, some more of the professional cotton. So these are just all Winsor&Newton and Dale & Maroney watercolours and gouache. Oh god, this one is so heavy. And then these are all my Winsor&Newton Winton oil colours that I've got. I've yet to try oils, I know, blasphemy. Got all them, and I've also got the water soluble artisan ones. I have used these before. I did like 2 sky pieces and they're all right. I've never tried oils, so once again I haven't really got anything to compare them to, so I'm going to do a comparison video one time once I've actually tried out just normal oils. With these, obviously easier to use because you don't have to use terps and there's no like risk too much of toxins. A lot of them AP, so like the skin safe. Once again, it'll just be to look out for the cadmium, things like that. But the artisan, they didn't like, because obviously they are thick and like kind of move like an oil paint, or how I know the oil paints are. But then adding water to them, they're not really like, they do mix, but I don't know, even though they're supposed to be water mixable, you can kind of feel these oil paints still trying to resist the water, I find. But that's just me personally, and once again, I have not used normal oils before, so I don't actually know if what I'm saying is true. So I won't talk too much about these. I will wait till I've tried oils out first, and then I'll go back and do another water mixable oil, and I will do a comparison video for you guys. And these are just in, I keep these all in WAM, are they called? Like WAM storage boxes. I got these all from Home Bargains, and they were a bargain, and I just have them like that. Once again, little pumpkins, and then my bin. Behind my bin, just because I hate wires being out and about, is my charger. I also usually have other chargers, but I've got my iPad charger there. I usually have my charger for my laptop and my phone all there. And then at my windowsill, try not to show too much because obviously I don't want to invade neighbours' privacy. But yes, I have all this on my windowsill, as you can tell. Once again, a bit cluttered, a bit chaotic, but very me. That is a little, it used to be a candle. So this used to be a little candle, like a little Pisces one, but now I use it because it's empty as like a little storage for all my used matches for when I light my candles. I just thought it was so cute. So I have that there. A Halloween cup that has my little light remote in for this light and the light over there. It's a little dog is dressed as a ghost with a pumpkin. This is meant to be for cookies, but I use it decoratively. Once again, just a big massive pumpkin. Got that from Home Bargains. It was about, it's a little bit dusty, I do apologise. I think it was about £6. And then this cat I got from TK Maxx, but I repainted him. One thing I've always forgotten is I haven't put pupils on him. I also got some acrylic paint on him, whoopsie daisy. But yeah, how cute, if I can get it to focus, is he. So he originally didn't have coloured eyes, and he didn't have, like this I think was all purple. So I changed his little cloak to orange, changed his hat to orange, changed his little eyes to yellow. I did this because the wrap was all white, and I painted him all black so it looked prominent and you could tell from the little parts of the bone. I redid his chest because his chest was really patchy, did that white. And the bristles, this was all just one colour. I added some shading and basically just repainted him. This is a little 02 light. It was an anime light. It was a gift for me from uni. This was off holiday, little turtle kind of thing. You're supposed to hold jewellery in it. Plant one. And then I've got behind it a little acorn candle, which I can't bring myself to light because I don't want the candle ruining. If you kind of tell already, I'm obsessed with Halloween. Another pumpkin tray with a little gold lid. I can't remember where I got that from. I'm not going to go into too much detail about more plants. That's my little baby pups that I got off this plant. It's also grown another pup, so I'm going to have to separate them again. Another succulent, my massive aloe. Chocolate orange flavoured candle, smells unreal. Behind that, I don't know if you can see, is a little cauldron. It is for incense cones, which I use all the time. But I've had to stop recently because, like I've been saying before, I can't really breathe. My chest really hurts, so I have stopped lighting any of these just for now. That is a candle with a ghost on the top of it. How cute. That one is finished candle, but I just really like one. This is a little tea light holder, but it's a flower. How cute. But I love it because of the logo, and it's got a spider on the top, but it is fully used up. Crystals on a little stand. Another little crystal clear quartz little turtle, little tutorial light, you're supposed to hang it up, and then a canine skull in the back. Not really sure it matters, but that is my chair. It is an old chair. It is my nan's mum's chair, so you can imagine how old that is. My nan is now 74. The only thing is it's a bit low backed for me, so I've got it stuffed to the brim with my Halloween guinea pig cushion. How cute is that? I got that as a gift off my dad from TK Maxx years ago. And then that's just my desk. It's just a little cheap B&M pull-out desk. That is a birthday card for a family relative. How cute is it? It says happy birthday to you, because obviously sheep. My iPad, because I have been in the midst of painting. This is another little circle table. I originally did get this circle table to have as like an altar, but I ended up getting a different one anyway. That is a painting we are on the process of doing, and I was using the Rosa Gallery for it. This is covered in paint as well. I do apologise. And then this is where all the chaos is. I'll quickly show you this side though, because this is where you can see, if I show you. Once again, I'm very chaotic. I collected that plant has died. I need to get rid of its soil. I went on a walk the other day and collected some acorns because I want to draw them and paint them, so that's why they're there. That's just a load of stickers and different things that I've purchased from different conferences and conventions. I just have yet to put them somewhere. So there's all that, but this is basically just a chest of drawers for bedding, stuff like that. Cappy's blanket that he lies on when he's upstairs here, and then this, without showing you me, is all is just my wardrobe. So like I say, this room I only use, like this section isn't used for anything art related, so I'm not going to show that. This is a canvas piece that I did a while back. I found it in storage randomly. It was an acrylic piece, and once again I like had a phase of trying to do like bird's eye views on the ocean. Very tropical, gives me tropical vibes. So yes, so I just placed that there for the minute. I just placed that there on the easel for a minute, and my easel kind of just stays there all the time. Storage boxes, this has canvases in that, as you can probably see, and then they have more sketchbooks in. There's a few consoles in there. I know it sounds so random, but I have nowhere else to put them, so they are just two storage boxes of other bits. This is a little squishmallow of an octopus. He is called, oh, she is called, sorry, Veronica. Such a random name for an octopus. And then my little egg, because I am obsessed with eggs. Paintings here, but obviously this painting's is varnished and it's ready for sale. Some stickers. I've not shown any of these yet, and I'm not going to show, but I've been creating stickers of some artwork. They did not come out too right. So packet of incense, as you can see, it's a bit skew with, but my bag that I always take plein air painting, which I've shown in a lot of videos before. I've shown my plein air painting bag loads of times before. It's in every video practically whenever I plein air paint. This is my chest of drawers. This is my first chest of drawers, sorry, like shelves, and then my second shelf. Back of here, that is it is like a UV nail lamp thing, but I use it for resin. When I've ever done little resin key rings and keychains and badges, I've used it to set the UV resin on them. That at the top is some little notepads that I've been designing. I'm not going to show you yet because I've got a different video idea, but I have created some notepads. I just got some a 50-pack stock just to see what they turned out like, and I really love them. So I've got a few other prints that I've sent off to turn into little notepads. They're only small, but they're so cute because I've got an idea. Tripod, main one that connects to my desk and holds my phone like above my painting. Little tripod. I'm using my other handheld tripod, but this is a smaller one. Ruler, spray bottle. These are phone stands. That's a phone stand. Scissors, screwdrivers, sellotape, things like that. All bits and bobs you need to sometimes build things. This is it was a gift I got years ago off my mum and dad when they went to Prague. It just has loads of little, I keep people's little business cards whenever I've gotten things or purchased things from little art shops at markets and conventions. Like I've got Swelly Nicks, there's like Maya White and Mr. Echo Angel, different things. She does like anime things, and then there's like Kate Maya White, just different people's business little cards in case I want to repurchase. Matchsticks to light incense or candles. This is my little witch jar that I put all my to-do lists once I've completed them in there. all my fine liners and my Sakura Jelly Roll pens. Fine liners are a mixture of the Pit Mat, sorry, I'm stuck on the pencils. The Pit Artist Pen fine liners from Faber-Castell. I've got some black and brown. I've got some of the Stedtler pigment brush pens in like different greys, warm greys. Winsor&Newton fine liners. I've got some of the Edding markers, which are a bit like Sharpies. Some of the Unipin, which I'm getting from the range. Some greys, some blacks, browns. I've also got some of the Micron Pigma. Got a green and I have a red. They're both in 005 size. This one has got a mixture of cheap pencils and my watercolour style pencils. I have some Stadler pencils in here. And I've got Stabilo Carbothello charcoal pencils. These are a bit like pastels. I have some of the Faber-Castell Gold Faber Aqua pencils, so they're water soluble. I also have some of the Contour Paris charcoal pencils. They're really good. I love them. Got some browns and like terracotta colours. Here, if I show you them both. Those kind of styles. And then I have some of the Faber-Castell Albert Dürer water soluble pencils as well in there. This one has got a bit of a mixture again. There is some Derwent drawing pencils. There is some of the Derwent Studio pencils. I've got some of the Derwent metallic. I've got a blender. I've got some of the Derwent Colour Soft in here. I don't have loads of the Colour Soft. These are all Derwent, but they're like a mixture. These are supposed to be like for plant pots, sorry. And this one's like a ceramic green kind of style. And then in this one I have, sorry it's a bit dark, I'm blocking the light, are all the polychromis I've got. Different polychromis. This shelf is more of like a drying rack, but I've got some terps in there, some used, it's just an old coffee jar. I have the Loxley Low Odor White Spirit, and then I've got the Eco Spirit Loxley to clean the brushes just because they don't have any scent. Some linseed oil, that is my matte UV varnish, the Winsor&Newton Architect one, is it? Acrylic, sorry, artist acrylic. Satin varnish, sorry, not matte. Linseed oil, that is a canvas that has just dried a while back. Some little canvas boards and other little canvas boards that have been drying. And then this side I have my little flannel, which I use to like scrub and use my brushes. Peelable palettes where you just rip them off once you finished using them. A little tray palette that you can use. And then underneath that I just have here is my binder with all my completed mixed media paintings, and it's kind of like a miniature portfolio. So it has like different complete paintings in. So we're now on the third drawer down. We have two of the Home Solutions storage boxes that I've used. I haven't taken the labels off because I'm just once again very chaotic and forget that these have labels. Got them from Home Bargains. I think they were like £2.99. They were really cheap and cost effective. I love a good like clippable box. I'm going to be really lazy. I've got Poscas in there and Faber-Castell. So got all my Posca markers in there. If I can get some out. And the Faber-Castell Gold Faber Aqua markers. I keep them all in there. I also have, I'm just gonna grab one. I also have some of the Lyra in. If anyone likes the Faber-Castell Gold Faber markers, the Lyra are very similar. And very good as well. They are also aqua, so they're also water mixable. They're really good as well, very pigmented. I love the Lyra. And the Faber-Castell, they're all my favourites. And then in this tub, I just have all my palettes. I've got like the Mungyo. I've got designer gouache, 2 tubs. Got the Dale & Roney Aquafine. I have the Royal Talons. My Rosa are usually in it, which are on that little table which you've seen. I've got my own made Cotman in that one. More Dale & Roney Aquafine. This is a blasphemy because it's a Rosa Gallery tin, but it has Cotman in as well. And this is like a metal tray. It's like a rose gold tray. I got these gifted to me off my nan for university as storage for bathroom, funnily enough. They just had like toiletries in, stuff like that. I use it now in this. So these just hold Faber-Castell travel pot thing. It's got sharpeners in, and I've just got a handful of clips that I just keep permanently in there that I just take plein air painting to keep my books pages down. Sharpener that I always take. This is my like bamboo wrap, which you'll have seen in a couple of plein air painting videos now. I'll link down below. It's just a wrap that you store pens, pencils, anything you want to take art supply wise, and then it's got this little tie wrap round. That is whatever I put acrylics whenever I haven't finished a painting. I scoop them and put them in this just because it's airtight and it keeps them like damp. Obviously this needs cleaning. I need to scrape all that off because that was used for the last painting, and it just stores them. Another little thing I've kept for travel. It was originally I originally got this, it had like makeup brushes in, but I just thought, I keep my sponges in at the moment, but I just thought it was a good idea to like you could fit paintbrushes in it if I ever needed that. So I've got that. Glass jar, tissues, because who doesn't need tissues? All these pencil cases. This is another wrap, if you can see. It's got pencils in at the moment, just stored. This is another kind of material wrap with button, if you want to use that instead of the bamboo. Pencil case just has Sharpies in it. Yeah. Or Copic, sorry. Copic markers in. I've got like a handful in there. This pencil case has like clay sculpt and stuff in, so it was actually like originally, I don't know if anyone knows Impulse, but like the sprays, I got it as like a collection box for Christmas, but it's just got different like sculpting tools in, has like a little Stanley knife, a little rolling pin, and then finally in this one, it's like a stag pencil case. These are all spare fine liners and like Sakura jelly roll pens. Instead of having them in my little tub with my other fine liners, these are just new ones that haven't been used and they're just replacements. So as I run out of different fine liners, I just take them out of here and replace them. This is the bottom shelf of the first shelving thing I have. Two little Tupperware things, again more acrylics. Favourite type of paint medium to use is acrylics. So in this one I have some of the Peebo Studio acrylics. These are like the shimmery ones. I've got like a few blues and greens. I've got some of the bigger tubes of the Winsor&Newton Galleria acrylics. These are considered more student grade, but once again, I, with a lot of paintings, tend to use my more student grade for like the main bulk of the painting, and then with finer details I'll go with more professional, but sometimes I don't even do that. So some Galleria. I also have some of the Crawford & Black acrylics, just sometimes to do good base colours. These are just from the works. When I used to get these, they were like £2. Now I think they're like a £5. So I do not get them anymore because I'm like, oh, it's went up in price. And there's no light fast on them or anything like that. They're just like kind of like student, like school grade, like acrylic paints. But these ones are pretty good. And then I've got some of the Dale & Roney graduate acrylics. These do have a light fast. Then this one I have some more in. I've got some of the System 3 Dale & Roney. I've got some abstract acrylics. Amsterdam acrylics. Some more of the 60ml Winsor&Newton Galleria. I've got some professional Winsor&Newton acrylics. Some of the Kryler, Dale & Roney. These are really good, but they're like heavy body, so they're very like pigmented and thick, and like they're a bit harder to blend, just for anyone if they want to use them. And I've also got some of the System 3. Once again, just an absolute mix of just different acrylic. And then down here, I'm not going to get out because I use that to lift these up, is the Maya gouache. It's a 54 pan one, so it's got loads of gouache pans in. If you've ever heard the Hemi gouache, they came in like the colourful trays. It's the same company. Just really quickly, next to my bag for plein air painting, I have like a board stand that that has the clip at the top that I use to keep paper down sometimes when I'm painting. That is also another board when I want photos for prints, just so it has a clear background and I can fully corner it off on Procreate. And then these are also some little mini canvas boards that I finished. One is a planchette and some fish. These are 2 boxes worth of prints, which I'm not going to show you because once again, got a different video for that. So I'm going to do another video where I show different products I've been making, which includes the prints that I've got on these, the notepads that I mentioned before in the box, and the sticker packs that I've got. So 2 boxes of prints. This little tub thing, I don't know whether you can see, has like different pins, stationery things. Sorry, I've just moved these because I have to show these. So it's like a little clippable thing like that. I have some like really chunky clips in there, some little diddies, some type of claw clips like that, a load of rubbers in this section, sharpeners, staplers, and then this lifts out, if I can do it one-handed, this lifts out and then has all that. Like, how cool. And my nan was just going to get rid of it. I was like, well, no, I'll use it. So once again, perfect for storage. So this was a freebie storage find. The only thing I will say about these shelves, they are a little bit wobbly, but I've got mine resting against walls and like they're held together, so it's fine. This, just spare little containers. Once again, clippable. I've got a thing about clips, I don't know why, I love them. I use these usually for acrylic paints. I have some linseed oil and liquid in these. Some gloss varnish, which needs to go there. I was gifted the gloss varnish because I think I've mentioned previously in a video that I don't really use gloss varnishes, but I will use it because I was gifted it. I don't like waste. So I've got some of the Winsor&Newton calligraphy ink in here. Things like that. I was going to see if I can do it one-handed. Sorry, not Sinalia. I've got some Rembrandt pastels. I kind of placed stickers on these to match like the colours I got. So like this one's got loads of greens in. This one I know is like blues, sky blues, and then I think I've got like a mixture of browns and reds, and I think I've got some oranges and greys in that one. With them, some Hannah Mule bookmark paper, watercolour, some ribbon because I was tying things up for gifts. I've got some of the Liquitex ink. I've only got a red, bit saturated, separated, but I've got some of the Dale & Roney FW ink. I've got a neon green and neon pink. I've got some of the Magic Colour, limey green, and like a turquoise. These aren't as pigmented. Definitely if you want pigment, the Liquitex and the Dale & Roney are the best. But to be honest, if you want like nothing but pigment, it buckles the page a bit, but the calligraphy ink's probably the best. And then I've got some Winsor&Newton ink, just normal. The white is one of my most used, and the silver. And then here I've got some of the mini tin box CSY metallic watercolours. I can keep my hand still. Some purples and then some greens. Got those. And then I've got the Colorio pearl colours. Absolutely unreal. I've got the Paradise and I've got Autumn. These are just beautiful. I love these watercolours, these metallic watercolours. And then these are really cheap, but for the price, I literally paid £1 for these. They're just like cheap, like Art Studio, like shimmer metallic watercolours. Honestly, for the pigment and for the fact they're just £1, they're really good. Especially if you just want to do little like wispy highlights and you're not looking for anything too professional. Really good. So I've got that, and then I've just got my Winsor&Newton Professional Fixative Spray. This section, guys, I've just got the books that I'm using at the moment. I have my sketchbook obviously open because I've done a painting, but the Royal Talens Art Creations, like the Periwinkle Blue kind of grey sketchbook is what I'm doing at the moment. This is the watercolour book I'm using at the moment. It is a little mini journal. I've done a lot of flower sketchbooks, a lot of flower designs in here. I will link a video down below. I'm trying to use up some of my sea whites as well. That's another sea white sketchbook that I'm trying to finish and use off. This sketchbook is just full of swatches. As you love seeing it in every haul video. I've only got a few pages of this left, but sea whites as well. Here, just loads of sellotapes, random little bits. Brush cleaner. Brush cleaner for oils with a sealable lid, just so it's airtight and the smell doesn't go everywhere. And then this is just more flannels and things that I use to clean brushes. This is basically like the cleaning station. Down here, I've got my Angela Harding book, which I've been reading through. I absolutely love. This is just a mixture of stickers that I use for when I'm journaling. It has nothing to do with my art, I just journal a lot and I use different stickers, from fruits to Halloween to more like geography kind of based map style stickers. This tub as well is full of stickers, washi tapes, there is leaf foliage when I take print photos, and I've also right at the bottom got like tissue paper for when I used to sell products to wrap with, and I've got different like tapes to make it pretty, just like packaging stuff basically. In this one, this is a tub as well from Home Bargains. It looks darker on camera, but it's like a light, like a mint green. And then right at the bottom, without much further ado, I've got the Hahnemühle watercolour pad. I've got some tracing paper because I do a lot of my bird sketches. I will do my sketchbook. I think you've seen it before, but I will do a sketch of a bird in my sketchbook, and then when I've got it, when I'm happy, because I don't like sketch marks on watercolour paper, so I do the sketch in my sketchbook. Then once I've got that complete and I like how it looks, I use tracing paper to trace the drawing I've done and put it on the watercolour paper. Just makes my life easier. And once again, I don't like multiple lines on my watercolour paper. I just want it perfect first time, basically. This little tray is just full of jewellery making equipment. And this is another, got loads of jewellery stuff, pins, things like that, wires to make bracelets, earrings, all that kind of stuff, because I can make jewellery and I like to make jewellery. This is also loads of keyring chains, backs for pins, clasps for necklaces, once again hooks for earrings, sterling silver, all that kind of stuff. I just love to make all sorts. And then right down there is like a miniature mint green guillotine. It's really good. In this, I've just bought this from the range. It was $4.99. It's massive blank paper and it's in the same theme as the journal sketchbook, the notepad I got. And then I've just got a load of different, I got that from a bar conference. I need to put up on the wall. Another my stationery watercolour sketchbook that I haven't tried, and some more Royal Talons. These are the Dale and Roney watercolour book, and that's a Dale and Roney Aquafine sketchbook. And then I've got different mixed media papers. I've got like a cappuccino sketchbook there. It's like the paper is that kind of colour. Some oil paper, some more palettes. I've got miniature sketchbooks, some more bookmark paper, some more sea white, and I've got some round Hahnemühle kind of watercolour paper, just all sorts of sketchbooks. But like I say, I have been a little bit under the weather, so I look a little bit rough. I have direct sunlight coming in this way and I use the natural light, so that's probably why I look like mega shiny like a star. I'm gonna have to have some water. I've talked so much, recording all that talking with a bad chest. It's done me in now. I'm definitely going to have a rest of a chill day, just editing and doing little bits and bobs like that. I'm trying to keep my face more downcast, just so you don't get that reflective bit of my glasses, so I do apologise, guys. Without further ado, guys, I do hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you really enjoyed a little tour of my mini art room. And I hope it didn't give you any motion sickness. I had to stop a few times recording because I was holding the tripod and I kept pointing to different things and talking about different art materials and art stuff in my art room, but talking about and looking through the camera at what I'm doing, and I get motion sickness on a normal day, so it really made me sickly. I'm hoping because you will just be viewing it from the camera's point of view, it won't be as shaky and it won't be as disorientating. I will double check when I'm editing though, and if it is a little bit disorientating, I will put a warning bit at the beginning, but I don't think it will, because it's just from the camera's point of view, where I was looking at what I was doing from like holding a tripod, looking at my phone, and then also trying to monitor what I was doing with my hands and where I was pointing and making sure I was pointing to the right thing. So I think that's why it was knocking me sick. Anyway, it was definitely a hard thing to video. I didn't realise an art room to a studio kind of thing would have been so hard to do, but it's actually really drained me. If you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like and feel free to subscribe. It really does help out a lot and it helps the channel out a lot. And also, if you would like to see, I mentioned previous in this video, a sketchbook tour of the sketchbook that I showed prior in this room tour, feel free to let me know in the comments. And if you would like a comparison between the water mixable oils and the normal oils, feel free to comment down below as well. I do have my other socials linked down below if you would like to follow me. I am on Instagram, TikTok and Ko-fi, so feel free to give them a watch as well and a little view. Once again, everything helps. I will see you guys in next week's video, and I hope you all have an amazing end of your week and weekend. And I hope everyone has been having a lovely time so far and everyone is healthy and happy, and I will see you next week. Bye!